There's something powerful about consistency. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, and it doesn't make for sweet little stories that sweep you off your feet in the first 2 weeks. But consistency is the single most reliable sign of a man's real intentions. Think about it. Anyone can act charming for a night, anyone can say the right words in the beginning, and anyone can pour on attention when the spark is fresh. But that's convenience. That's effort when it costs nothing. What matters is whether his actions remain steady when it's no longer effortless, when it requires real choice, when the situation tests him. Consistency is how you separate a man who values you from a man who is simply entertaining himself. A man who only appears when he's lonely or when he needs something is showing you his priorities loud and clear. He values what you give him, not who you are. He values the comfort of your presence, not the commitment of your partnership. But a man who has true intentions doesn't vanish when it rains. He doesn't wait until the sun is out and life is easy to be by your side. He shows up even when it's uncomfortable, even when it requires him to pause his own convenience. That's what love looks like in practice, showing up not because it's easy, but because it matters. Older women often bring maturity, independence, and clarity into relationships. You know the difference between words and actions better than most. But even with that wisdom, it's easy to get distracted by surface-level charm. Consistency is what protects you from those distractions. A man who truly intends to build something with you won't just call when he wants company at night. He'll reach out in the middle of a busy day to check on you. He won't just remember the big moments when everyone else is watching. He'll be present in the small, ordinary ones that no one else sees. That's the difference between someone who is using you as a convenience and someone who is genuinely invested. Think about how a man behaves when it's inconvenient for him. Does he make time for you when his schedule is tight, or does he push you aside because things are just too busy right now? Does he communicate with you when he's stressed, or does he disappear and only return when he wants to feel better again? Does he follow through on his word, or does he offer excuse after excuse as to why he couldn't? These are not small things, they are windows into his character. Because the truth is, everyone is consistent about what truly matters to them. If something is important, they will always make room for it. If he doesn't make room for you, it's because you're not as important to him as he is to himself. Convenience is the counterfeit version of consistency. Convenience makes you feel chosen, but only temporarily. He'll call when he's lonely, but vanish when his friends call him out. He'll be affectionate when he wants intimacy, but cold when you want depth. He'll promise you his presence, but it will always be conditional. Conditional on his mood, his needs, his availability. And if you're not careful, convenience can trick you into thinking it's love. But love is not love when it's seasonal. Love is not love when it's circumstantial. True love shows itself in steady, consistent actions, even when they don't benefit him directly. I want you to imagine two men. The first showers you with attention for a week straight. He's funny, sweet, and attentive. But then you don't hear from him for days. When he comes back, he has reasons. He's tired, he's busy, he's dealing with things. And though his excuses sound reasonable, they always seem to happen when you need him the most. Now imagine the second man. He may not send 100 texts in a day, but he calls regularly. He may not always have the most charming words, but he follows through. If he says he'll be there, he is. If he promises to help you, he does. Which man reveals real intentions? The first is consistent only with his own needs. The second is consistent with you. The difference is night and day. Consistency also protects you from false hope, because the truth is, inconsistency is one of the clearest signs of disinterest. A man who cares about you won't let you sit in confusion about where you stand. He won't make you question whether he's coming or going. He won't give you affection today and neglect tomorrow. If you constantly find yourself guessing, wondering, waiting for the other shoe to drop, then his intentions are not love, they're convenience. Love is stable. Love is steady. Love is secure. Anything else is just a performance. This is why consistency is so powerful for older women in particular. You don't have the time or energy to waste on men who only show up when it suits them. You've already experienced enough to know that a man's real heart is revealed not by how loud he talks, but by how steady he walks. And the truth is, consistency is not just about romance. It's about respect. A man who respects you will be consistent because he values your time. He knows your heart deserves reliability. He knows your worth deserves honor. He knows your presence is not to be taken lightly. So, when you're looking at a man's intentions, don't measure his words, measure his patterns. Don't measure his grand gestures, measure his daily choices. Don't measure his convenience, measure his consistency. Because at the end of the day, the man who truly cares about you won't just be there when it feels good to him. He'll be there when it matters most to you. And that's the kind of man worth your trust, your heart, and your time. One of the clearest ways a man reveals his true intentions is in how he responds to your boundaries. Because boundaries are not walls to keep love out. They're doors that protect your peace, your dignity, and your values. And the way a man reacts when you say no tells you everything you need to know about what he really wants from you. A man with real intentions will see your boundaries as part of who you are, and if he truly values you, he will honor them without hesitation. But a man who only seeks to gain something from you will see those same boundaries as obstacles he needs to break down or work around. That difference separates respect from manipulation and love from selfish desire. Every woman, especially those with experience, knows that boundaries are not just preferences. They are the product of lessons learned, of pain endured, of growth achieved. You don't set limits because you want to make life harder. You set them because you know what you deserve. You've lived enough to recognize what drains you, what disrespects you, and what threatens your peace. And when you communicate those boundaries clearly, a man's reaction becomes a mirror. If he leans in with respect, you're looking at someone who values not just the relationship, but you as a human being. If he pushes back, manipulates, or tries to convince you that your boundaries are too much, you're seeing a man whose intentions are rooted in taking, not giving. Think about it. If you tell a man, I need time before I'm comfortable with this step, does he wait with patience or does he pressure you with guilt? If you say, I value my space and I don't want constant interruptions, does he adapt or does he accuse you of being distant? If you explain, I want honesty, not half-truths, does he open up or does he get defensive? Boundaries reveal character because they create moments of choice. A man with good intentions chooses respect. A man with hidden motives chooses resistance. Respecting boundaries is not about agreeing with every rule or condition. It's about understanding that your needs and comfort matter as much as his. A man with true intentions doesn't see boundaries as rejection. He sees them as guidance. He sees them as the framework for how to love you well. Because boundaries don't push real love away, they protect it. They create trust, security, and safety. And only a man who truly wants to build something lasting will honor them, even when it challenges his own desires. On the other hand, a man with shallow intentions will always test your boundaries. He will see how far he can go before you resist. He may charm you into bending your rules. He may guilt you into lowering your standards. He may even make you feel like your boundaries are a burden. But don't mistake pressure for passion. Don't confuse persistence with love. If he cannot respect your no, he cannot be trusted with your whys. That's the truth. When you allow a man to cross your boundaries, even once, you teach him how to treat you. But when you stand firm, you teach him something even more powerful, that your value is not negotiable. And the men who have pure intentions will never run from that. In fact, they'll admire you more for it. Because a man who is serious about you wants to know the lines he should never cross. He wants to know how to keep your heart safe. He wants to know where the boundaries are so he can stand guard with you, not against you. Older women understand this in ways younger women often don't. You've seen what happens when boundaries are ignored, when respect is treated like an option instead of a requirement. You've lived through the pain of giving too much to someone who only took more. That's why you carry your limits with you now. They are not barriers to intimacy. They are proof of your strength, and the right man will see that. He will see that the woman who sets boundaries is not cold or distant. She is wise. She is someone who values herself enough to demand better. So when you're trying to understand a man's intentions, don't just listen to what he says in the good times. Watch how he reacts when you draw a line. Watch how he behaves when you say, this is what I will and will not accept. A man who truly wants to love you will step back where he needs to step back and step forward where it's safe to do so. He will not make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. He will not punish you for demanding respect. Instead, he will rise to the standard you set because he knows your boundaries don't keep him out. They let him in the right way. At the end of the day, respect for boundaries is the strongest test of integrity, because anyone can play nice when everything is going their way. But when you put a boundary in place, you give a man a choice to respect you or reveal himself. And the truth is, the men who are not meant for you will expose themselves quickly when they face a limit they can't control. That's not something to be sad about. It's something to be grateful for. Because a man who won't honor your boundaries is a man who would eventually dishonor your heart. And no woman, especially one who has lived and learned, should ever settle for that. So remember this, a man who respects your boundaries respects your soul. He is telling you with his actions that he doesn't just want access to your life, he wants permission to earn his place in it. And that kind of man doesn't just want convenience. He wants commitment. He wants to build trust. He wants something real, and you deserve nothing less. One of the clearest signs of a man's true intentions is how he invests his time and effort into you. Because love is not just about feelings, it's about choices. Time is the one resource we can never get back, and effort is the proof of where someone's priorities lie. A man may say you matter to him, but if he never gives you his time, then his words are just noise. A man may promise the world, but if he never puts in effort to build that promise, then his intentions are hollow. That's why you must look closely at what he invests in you. Not what he says, not what he promises, but what he actually does. A man who truly values you will show it with his time. He won't just fit you in when everything else is done. He will make you part of his life. He will include you in his plans not as an afterthought, but as a priority. He won't keep you waiting for scraps of attention because he knows that time is the truest gift he can give. When a man spends his most precious resource, his hours, his presence, his focus on you, it reveals that he sees you as worthy of more than temporary attention. It shows that he's not just looking for company, but connection. But there's another side to this. A man who is only interested in what he can take from you will never invest much of his own. He'll want your time, your energy, your attention, but he won't give the same in return. He will show up when it suits him, when he's bored, when he's lonely. But the moment your needs require his sacrifice, he'll retreat. He'll say he's too busy, too stressed, too distracted. Yet, if you pay close attention, you'll notice he has plenty of time for what benefits him. That's because time and effort reveal truth, what people value, they make space for. If he doesn't make space for you, then you're not part of what he values most. Effort goes hand in hand with time. Effort is about what he does with the time he gives you. It's easy to spend an evening together physically present, but emotionally absent. It's easy to sit next to someone without truly being with them. But effort transforms time into something meaningful. Effort is when he remembers the little details you've shared and acts on them. Effort is when he helps you through challenges without being asked. Effort is when he shows that your happiness, your comfort, your growth matter to him. A man with genuine intentions will put effort into making the relationship stronger, not because he has to, but because he wants to. Think about the difference between convenience and investment. A man of convenience shows up only when the path is smooth. A man of investment shows up even when it requires work. If you're sick, does he check on you and make sure you're cared for, or does he disappear until you're better? If you're going through something emotionally heavy, does he sit with you through the hard parts, or does he avoid the discomfort because it's too much for him? If you have dreams and goals, does he encourage and support them, or does he ignore them because they don't serve his own needs? These are not small differences, they're the entire truth of his intentions written in action. Older women especially understand that love is not sustained by passion alone. You've lived long enough to know that relationships thrive when two people are willing to invest in one another. And the right man will see that too. He won't expect you to carry the weight of the connection on your own. He will contribute. He will make deposits of time, of energy, of effort, because he understands that real relationships are partnerships, not transactions. When a man is only taking, he's revealing that his intentions are selfish. But when he is also giving consistently, giving sincerely, he's revealing that his intentions are real. It's important to understand that investment doesn't always look like grand gestures. It's not always about expensive gifts or elaborate plans. In fact, those things can sometimes be distractions. The real investment is in the everyday choices. Does he call to check in, even when he's tired? Does he make time to see you, even if it means rearranging his schedule? Does he listen when you speak, even when the topic doesn't benefit him directly? These are the investments that reveal his heart. Because love is built not in big moments, but in the steady, intentional small ones. And here's the truth. When a man doesn't invest in you, it doesn't mean he's too busy or too stressed. It means he doesn't prioritize you. People always find time and energy for what they truly want. A man who truly wants you will create opportunities to show it. He won't just say, "I'm thinking about you." He'll prove it by being present. He won't just say, "I want to support you." He'll show it by standing beside you. He won't just say, "I care." He'll demonstrate it through consistent effort, through real investment. So, if you want to know a man's true intentions, look not at the words he gives you, but at the time he sacrifices for you. Look not at the promises he makes, but at the effort he invests. Because time and effort don't lie. They are the currency of commitment, the evidence of love, the proof of sincerity. If he invests in you, he intends to build with you. If he doesn't, then his intentions are not rooted in love. They're rooted in what's easy, what's selfish, what's temporary. And you, more than anyone, deserve more than that. A man who invests in you is showing that he sees value in who you are, not just in what he gains. He's telling you without words that you matter, that you're worth the effort, that you're not just a convenience. And when you see that kind of investment, you don't have to question his intentions. They shine clearly through his actions. That is the kind of man you deserve. That is the kind of man worth your time. Another powerful way to see a man's real intentions is to watch how he reacts to your independence. Because independence is not just about paying your own bills or having your own career. It's about knowing who you are, standing on your own 2 feet, and refusing to let your identity be swallowed up by someone else's expectations. For many older women, independence is one of the greatest strengths you carry. You've built a life, you've weathered storms, you've learned to stand strong even when no one was standing beside you. And the way a man responds to that strength is a window into his heart. A man with good intentions will admire and celebrate your independence. He won't feel threatened by your ability to take care of yourself. Instead, he'll respect it. He'll see your confidence not as competition but as inspiration. He will want to walk beside you, not in front of you, and he will understand that loving an independent woman is not about controlling her, it's about supporting her. A man who truly values you will see your independence as an asset, not a threat, because it means you choose him, not that you need him. But there are men who feel uneasy in the face of independence. These men are not looking for a partner, they are looking for control. They thrive when a woman depends on them, but when a woman shows she can thrive on her own, they shrink. They may try to make you feel guilty for not needing them. They may accuse you of being too strong, too stubborn, or too difficult. They may even attempt to subtly undermine your confidence because your independence makes them feel small, and when a man reacts this way, it reveals his intentions. He doesn't want to love you. He wants to manage you. He doesn't want to walk with you. He wants you to walk behind him. That is not partnership. That is insecurity disguised as love. Think about it. If you decide to pursue a goal, does he encourage you or discourage you? If you choose to spend time with friends or family, does he respect your decision or does he sulk, complain, and demand all your attention? If you express an opinion that doesn't align with his, does he listen with openness or does he shut you down? These are not small matters. These are the crossroads where his intentions show themselves. A man who loves your independence loves you. A man who fears your independence loves only the control he has over you. Older women in particular understand the value of independence. You know the price you paid to become self-sufficient, and you know the freedom it gives you. You've worked too hard to hand it over lightly. That's why a man's response to your independence is so important. If he's intimidated by your strength, then his vision of love is too small for you. If he resents your freedom, then his love will always come with chains. But if he celebrates it, if he supports it, if he stands beside you and says, "Your strength makes us stronger," then you know his intentions are genuine. The truth is, independence can be a filter. It quickly separates the men who want a partner from the men who want control. Because independence demands mutual respect. It demands equality. It demands a man secure enough in himself to not feel less because you are more. And that kind of man doesn't want to diminish your light. He wants to shine with you. He doesn't want to silence your voice. He wants to hear it. He doesn't want to limit your growth. He wants to grow with you. It's easy for a man to say he loves a confident, independent woman. Many men claim it. But the real test comes when that independence is lived out. When you make choices that prioritize your peace, when you set boundaries around your freedom, when you stand tall in your own skin, that's when his true feelings surface. If he becomes bitter, controlling, or insecure, then you've seen his intentions clearly. But if he leans in, if he respects your choices, if he admires your ability to walk on your own even while choosing to walk with him, then you know you've found someone who doesn't just want a relationship, he wants a partnership. At the heart of it, independence is not about rejecting love. It's about defining it on your terms. And the right man will understand that. He won't try to take away what you've built. He'll want to add to it. He won't try to silence your strength. He'll want to stand with it. He won't feel threatened that you can stand alone. He'll feel honored that you still choose to stand with him. That's what separates a man of real intention from a man of hidden agendas. So pay close attention to how a man reacts when you show your independence. Does he step back and try to control, or does he step forward and support? Does he diminish your light, or does he celebrate it? Because at the end of the day, a man who is secure, genuine, and serious will not just tolerate your independence. He will treasure it. And that, more than anything, reveals his true intentions. One of the most revealing behaviors that exposes a man's true intentions toward older women is his emotional consistency. Words may sound sweet, gestures may appear romantic, and promises may feel reassuring, but none of these matter if his emotions are unstable, unpredictable, or inconsistent. Emotional consistency is the thread that weaves trust, safety, and authenticity into a relationship. Without it, everything else falls apart. A man's intentions are never clearer than in how steadily he shows up, not just in moments of ease, but also in moments of difficulty. Think about it. A man may treat you kindly one day, showering you with compliments, calling you his priority, and making you feel cherished. But then, the very next day, he may withdraw, criticize you, or act as if you are a burden. That inconsistency leaves you questioning, doubting, and overanalyzing his every move. When someone's behavior swings like a pendulum, you're forced to live in a constant state of uncertainty. And uncertainty is where manipulation thrives. A man with unclear or selfish intentions will often rely on inconsistency because it keeps you guessing, and when you're guessing, you're less likely to notice the truth. On the other hand, a man who is sincere in his intentions will bring stability to the relationship. His emotions may not always be perfect. He's human. after all, but they won't be erratic. He won't one day make you feel like the love of his life and the next day make you question your worth. Instead, he will show a steady presence. He'll communicate openly when he's stressed, he'll express his frustrations without tearing you down, and he'll demonstrate that his affection isn't something you have to earn day by day. Emotional consistency is proof that his love isn't conditional, it's grounded in respect and commitment. Older women, especially, have experienced enough in life to understand the weight of inconsistency. You've probably seen how instability in a partner drains your energy, undermines your confidence, and erodes your peace. That's why emotional consistency is such a powerful filter. If a man cannot regulate his emotions, if he cannot treat you with the same respect on hard days as he does on easy ones, then his intentions are not to love you but to use you for convenience. Because love without consistency is not love, it's confusion. Imagine being with someone who lifts you up only when it benefits him. He praises you when he wants something, but ignores you when you set boundaries. He showers you with attention when he's lonely, but pulls away when you need support. These are not the actions of a man who wants to build with you. They are the signs of someone who is self-serving. His intentions are revealed in the gaps, in the moments when no one is watching, in how he treats you when there's nothing for him to gain. But the man who has true intentions will remain steady even in storms. He will not punish you with silence because he's upset. He will not disappear and reappear as if your heart is a revolving door. Instead, he will be clear, honest, and emotionally present. He will recognize that your trust is fragile, and he will guard it with his actions. His consistency will give you peace because you won't have to second-guess his feelings or wonder where you stand. Ask yourself, how does he handle conflict? Does he explode one moment and apologize the next, only to repeat the same cycle? Does he blame you for his mood swings, making you responsible for his happiness? Or does he communicate with maturity, showing that his love for you doesn't vanish simply because he's frustrated? These are not small questions. They are the keys to understanding his deeper motives. A man who uses inconsistency is telling you, without words, that you are not his priority. A man who remains consistent, even when it's hard, is showing you that his intentions are anchored in something real. Older women especially deserve this consistency. After years of building your life, raising families, pursuing careers, and weathering challenges, the last thing you need is a relationship that feels like a roller coaster. You don't need the chaos of guessing someone's emotions. You need the security of knowing where you stand. A man who truly values you understands that. He knows that emotional consistency isn't boring. It's the foundation of trust. It's the proof that his words and actions align. The truth is, love is tested in the ordinary. It's tested in the everyday moments, how he speaks to you when he's tired, how he treats you when he's stressed, how he behaves when no one is watching. Emotional consistency is the glue that holds those ordinary moments together. Without it, the relationship crumbles into doubt. With it, the relationship becomes a safe space where both partners can grow. So, when you're trying to understand a man's true intentions, pay close attention to how consistent he is. Does he show up the same way in private as he does in public? Does his kindness hold steady even when he's upset? Does his respect remain unshaken, or does it disappear the moment things don't go his way? The answers will reveal more than any words he speaks. At the end of the day, emotional consistency is not about perfection. It's about reliability. It's about knowing that his love won't vanish when circumstances change. It's about trust you can lean on, stability you can rest in, and respect that doesn't waver. And the man who offers that kind of consistency isn't just showing affection. He's showing his true intentions, because real love is steady and anything less is a warning sign. Another powerful way to see a man's real intentions is to watch how he reacts to your independence. Because independence is not just about paying your own bills or having your own career. It's about knowing who you are, standing on your own 2 feet, and refusing to let your identity be swallowed up by someone else's expectations. For many older women, independence is one of the greatest strengths you carry. You've built a life, you've weathered storms, you've learned to stand strong even when no one was standing beside you. And the way a man responds to that strength is a window into his heart. A man with good intentions will admire and celebrate your independence. He won't feel threatened by your ability to take care of yourself. Instead, he'll respect it. He'll see your confidence not as competition but as inspiration. He will want to walk beside you, not in front of you, and he will understand that loving an independent woman is not about controlling her, it's about supporting her. A man who truly values you will see your independence as an asset, not a threat, because it means you choose him, not that you need him. But there are men who feel uneasy in the face of independence. These men are not looking for a partner, they are looking for control. They thrive when a woman depends on them. But when a woman shows she can thrive on her own, they shrink. They may try to make you feel guilty for not needing them. They may accuse you of being too strong, too stubborn, or too difficult. They may even attempt to subtly undermine your confidence, because your independence makes them feel small. And when a man reacts this way, it reveals his intentions. He doesn't want to love you. He wants to manage you. He doesn't want to walk with you. He wants you to walk behind him. That is not partnership. That is insecurity disguised as love. Think about it. If you decide to pursue a goal, does he encourage you or discourage you? If you choose to spend time with friends or family, does he respect your decision or does he sulk, complain, and demand all your attention? If you express an opinion that doesn't align with his, does he listen with openness or does he shut you down? These are not small matters. These are the crossroads where his intentions show themselves. A man who loves your independence loves you. A man who fears your independence loves only the control he has over you. Older women in particular understand the value of independence. You know the price you paid to become self-sufficient, and you know the freedom it gives you. You've worked too hard to hand it over lightly. That's why a man's response to your independence is so important. If he's intimidated by your strength, then his vision of love is too small for you. If he resents your freedom, then his love will always come with chains. But if he celebrates it, if he supports it, if he stands beside you and says, "Your strength makes us stronger," then you know his intentions are genuine. The truth is, independence can be a filter. It quickly separates the men who want a partner from the men who want control. Because independence demands mutual respect, it demands equality. It demands a man secure enough in himself to not feel less because you are more. And that kind of man doesn't want to diminish your light. He wants to shine with you. He doesn't want to silence your voice. He wants to hear it. He doesn't want to limit your growth. He wants to grow with you. It's easy for a man to say he loves a confident, independent woman. Many men claim it, but the real test comes when that independence is lived out. When you make choices that prioritize your peace, when you set boundaries around your freedom, when you stand tall in your own skin, that's when his true feelings surface. If he becomes bitter, controlling, or insecure, then you've seen his intentions clearly. But if he leans in, if he respects your choices, if he admires your ability to walk on your own even while choosing to walk with him, then you know you've found someone who doesn't just want a relationship, he wants a partnership. At the heart of it, independence is not about rejecting love. It's about defining it on your terms. And the right man will understand that. He won't try to take away what you've built. He'll want to add to it. He won't try to silence your strength. He won't stand with it. He won't feel threatened that you can stand alone. He'll feel honored that you still choose to stand with him. That's what separates a man of real intention from a man of hidden agendas. So, pay close attention to how a man reacts when you show your independence. Does he step back and try to control, or does he step forward and support? Does he diminish your light, or does he celebrate it? Because at the end of the day, a man who is secure, genuine, and serious will not just tolerate your independence, he will embrace it. He will see it as part of who you are and part of what makes the relationship stronger. And that, more than any words he says, reveals his true intentions. Independence is a mirror. It reflects back to you the truth about the person standing beside you. If he is insecure, it will expose his need for control. If he is genuine, it will bring out his respect and admiration. And if he is truly in love, he will not only accept your independence, he will honor it, celebrate it, and make it a foundation of your relationship. Because true love is never about possession, it's about freedom. And only a man with pure intentions will understand that loving an independent woman is not about holding her back, it's about standing with her as she soars. In the end, understanding a man's true intentions doesn't come from what he says in the moment, but from what his behaviors consistently reveal over time. Words can be rehearsed, promises can be fabricated, and gestures can be misleading, but patterns don't lie. From how he respects your boundaries to whether he listens with real attention, from the consistency of his emotions to how he reacts to your independence, every behavior paints a clear picture of his heart. For older women especially, these signs are not just clues, they are safeguards. You've already lived enough to know that love without respect is empty, affection without trust is fragile, and passion without stability is destructive. That's why noticing these behaviors isn't about being suspicious, it's about being wise. It's about valuing yourself enough to expect clarity, authenticity, and consistency from anyone who wants a place in your life. The man who truly values you won't make you question his intentions. He won't play games with your emotions, disappear when you need him most, or shrink in the presence of your strength. Instead, he will honor your independence, steady your trust, and show through his actions that he's here not just to take from you, but to grow with you. So, the question is simple. Is his love freeing or limiting? Does his presence bring peace or confusion? Does his behavior align with his words, or does it betray them? The answers to these questions will tell you everything you need to know. Remember, the right man doesn't fear your power, he respects it. He doesn't demand your silence, he listens to it. He doesn't weaken your independence, he celebrates it. And when you find that kind of man, you won't have to wonder about his intentions. His actions will speak for him loud and clear. Choose the man who makes you feel steady, not uncertain. Choose the man who strengthens your light, not the one who dims it. Choose the man whose intentions align with love, respect, and partnership, because at this stage in life, you don't need half-hearted love. You deserve the kind of love that is true, consistent, and undeniable.